Hi everyone, Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Look, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't want to do this video. I hate that I'm in this situation because what has happened is just so wrong. It's unreal. Look on the screen right now. You can see the Kickstarter page for Shenmue 3. Look right to the top there. I'm a backer, me personally, Az, and I pledged $300. To this game. Why would I pledge $300 to a game back in 2015? And let's just say in 2015, every penny kind of counted. I'd gone through my life savings, setting up my YouTube channel and running a YouTube channel. And yeah, I was kind of on a shoestring budget, but I put $300 towards this. Why? This is why. Right here. Right here. The original Dreamcast versions of Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2. Back in 1999, this came out, and it was just an amazing game. Shenmue, you can see the couple of discs there. Just an outstanding game. The vision that Yu Suzuki had for this. And then a couple of years later, Shenmue 2 came out. At the time, I believe Shenmue or Shenmue 2 was the most expensive game ever made. Most expensive game ever made. And we know the story of the Dreamcast, and it never quite did what they wanted it to do, but the vision was there, and the you know, the love was there. You could see exactly how much effort was put into this game. And we had to wait until 2015, until the Sony conference, I believe it was, at E3, where Yu Suzuki came up on stage and said, hey, we're opening up Kickstarter page for Shenmue 3. And I'm not ashamed to say it, I was in tears. I was in tears. I was so overjoyed to be able to have the opportunity to finish this franchise after playing through the first two games and loving them. Absolutely loving them. It was a dream come true. Just wouldn't quite cover it from a gaming perspective, you know. Not from. It was just an absolute dream come true, and that is why, even though things were tight, I still put $300 into the Kickstarter because I desperately wanted this to get its funding, and it got its funding within something insane. It like 2 hours. It was up for 2 million. It wanted to do 2 million. And I think it did something stupid like, that amount in a couple of hours. But it ended up, in its Kickstarter campaign, taking just over $7 million, becoming, I think, the biggest backed game of all time through Kickstarter. And just the joy. I've even got, on my other PC, I've even got the countdown stream that they did to end the Kickstarter. I've got it all. I recorded it all because this is how much I've desperately wanted Shenmue 3, how much I've desperately wanted Yu Suzuki's vision to be fulfilled. And Yu Suzuki himself was in tears at the end. Little tears, not bawling, but you could see very emotional. Tears were coming out that he knew that his game was finally, his vision was finally going to be finished after so long. And then as the time rolled on, I mean, they wanted it to be released December 2017, which to me was always a little bit hopeful, to say the least. But as time rolled on, there were other things which came to play. We discovered that other backers had come in from certain avenues that they put on, what do they call them? Like a lazy or late, Kickstarter campaigns as well to generate more money. Then there seemed to be funding coming in from Sony itself. There seemed to be multiple sources of funding coming through, which made backers a little bit uncomfortable because when you start to see money coming in from corporations, they tend to control what happens. And back in 2015, of course, when things were back through Kickstarter, when things were crowdfunded, what was said went. You know, what they offered, you got. What platforms they put up, they released on. And it didn't alter. Now, sadly, we're in a time, and I say sadly because this shouldn't be sad. This should be breeding competition. The Epic Store should be breeding competition between Steam. And all it seems to be doing is making developers, the indie developer, greedy. And it seems to be robbing people of choice. Because Epic are trying to pull exclusives. I don't think anybody would have a problem if they had the option to purchase on Steam or Epic. But it's the fact that Epic have been so aggressive in going out and getting exclusives, particularly when their platform is a shell compared to Steam's, as well as the controversy surrounding it with the data, the potential spyware element of it, inverted commas, and the ties that it has to China and what China does with this sort of data. And it was announced yesterday during the PC conference at E3 that Shenmue 3 would become an Epic exclusive on PC. Now, this went against what they said. They said it was going to be a Steam release. Back in 2015, of course, there was no real alternatives. It was Steam and Steam alone anyway. But now, due to their partnership with Quicksilver, who I believe also is responsible for Metro Exodus, and that at last minute also went onto the Epic Store as an Epic Store exclusive and didn't exactly endear themselves to people. But now that this crowd-funded project, like we saw recently with Phoenix Point, was it? This crowd-funded project is going to become an Epic exclusive. And what is even worse than that is people who wanted this for Steam, who are mad that it's now been made an exclusive, are saying, we want refunds. And Suzuki.net are turning around and saying, no. They're refusing refunds. And this is just going to give Shenmue 3 a bad rep now. It's not even out. It's not out till November 19th, I think. Something like that. It's been delayed again down to November 19th. And this is only going to give it bad publicity. And I know they say all publicity is good publicity. That's not the case with gaming anymore. Look what's happened with games like Anthem and Fallout 76 and Battlefield 5. You start pissing people off, people stop buying. You put out a shoddy product, people stop buying. I'm not saying this is a shoddy product, but this is certainly a turnaround. They offered it for the platform, for Steam. They should follow through. Particularly when you are crowdfunded. If it wasn't crowdfunded and they decide to do this, it would be frustrating, it would be annoying, but it would be their prerogative. People have crowdfunded this. This wouldn't be here without us. That is the sad reality of it. And this is what makes me mad. Because I've been so excited for this game. And now, a game which seems to have been developed through passion, through love, through a desperate desire to see their vision realized, now seems to have turned into greed. And that is not how Shenmue should be remembered. This wonderful franchise should be remembered. So this really frustrating thing is it's still here on Steam. Still got the Steam page up. But Reddit going nuts. Look at the posts on this. And then when people contacted Suzuki.net, thank you very much for contacting us. The launch was previously planned for distribution on Steam. Confirming. However, it was decided together with Deep Silver after much discussion that the Epic Games Store would be the best distribution platform option. They claim it's because they worked with them with the Unreal Engine for the game. That's got bog all to do with anything. How many companies use the Unreal Engine on Steam, you know, and still put through on Steam? So this is nonsense. This is about money. Shenmue 3 will be distributed through the Epic Games Store and will require the Epic Games Store client to activate. We apologise for the sudden change in platform. However, refunds will not be granted for this change. It's awful. It's awful. Crowd-funded projects should be carried through under the criteria in which they were sold. Not this Phoenix Point debacle, and now not with Shenmue 3. Because this is going to hurt future crowdfunding. Because people, now that we've not seen it just once, but we've seen it a couple of times now, and maybe more. I think there's another game as well, at least thrice. People are going to be wary about supporting crowd-funded projects because they're going to be like, well, what if they bait and switch? Are you going to put it on Steam? Yeah, but what if they bait and switch? What if they bait and switch and put it onto Epic and I don't want the Epic client? Because that's what they can do. This is a bait and switch. Phoenix Point was a bait and switch. I think it shows an unbelievable lack of respect for the people that have made your game possible. An unbelievable amount of disrespect. Nothing wrong with adding the Epic Store as an alternative. Steam, PlayStation 4, Epic Store, fine. Absolutely fine. But when you cut something off which has been offered and then refuse refunds because that's what the person wanted. A lot of people aren't wanting to touch the Epic platform. And I can't say that I blame them. I don't want it. I ain't putting it on this PC. No chance. No chance. Not with all the shenanigans that seem to be going on with it. No. No, 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 no. So I can fully understand. So this is sad. This is really sad. This is not how I wanted Shenmue 3 to go. It's a couple of years behind schedule, but you know, that things like that are forgivable as long as the game gets done and it's done to its best ability. But when you bait and switch, when you literally disrespect and spit at your backer, oh man, this is sad. This is really, really sad. Yeah. Right, I'm going to go watch the Nintendo conference, and I might be back with another video later on this evening. You take care, and bye for now.